Summertime. I just sit back and unwind when I take some days off. Hello, beautiful people. It's nice to see y'all outside of the condo. Welcome to our rooftop. Today, we're going to do an empty tour walkthrough of the four walls, designed together as usual, how we kind of extended the design of the inside of our condo and brought it outside. And just, some detailed shots of the after of the space. Even though you guys see it here, I do want to talk about why we chose certain design elements here. And it's just been one of our favorite spaces. Like over the last 3 weeks from Juneteenth, intimate gatherings with our family, fireworks from July 4th, all right here. It's been one of our favorite little spaces, to be honest. So I'm excited to kind of show y'all how it all came together. All right, with that said, you can imagine it's such a blessing to have outdoor space here in New York City. I always joke that even though I live in a concrete jungle, I am always seeing green. And that's what I love about Brooklyn, to be honest with you. I've always been more of a Brooklyn girl compared to Manhattan, just because I feel like I do want that balance where when I come home, it still has greenery and somewhere to just kind of, find an oasis. This block is filled with so many trees. It is not only a tree-lined block, but actually there's trees in everyone's backyards. And in fact, because this block is more row homes and brownstones, most of the homes here have outdoor space in the back. And so when we were shopping for a condo, we knew we wanted a boutique building. So no more than like 4 to 6 units in the building, which is what we got, thankfully. But with that said, we also knew that we may not get outdoor space just because most of the row homes here, as you guys can see, do not have like a terrace or a front balcony. And so when we were searching for condos, it was one of our, things on our checklist. And we got so lucky because every unit in this building has some type of outdoor space, whether it is the backyard for the duplex unit downstairs, or it's, back facing balconies, or in our case, a rooftop. So we just really feel blessed to have this outdoor space. It was a major win when we were, finalizing which condo we wanted to get in contract with. So super thankful. And with that said, let's get into the empty tour walkthrough and designing the space together. So as you walk up to our rooftop, you're met with the monochrome palette of our building. The white stucco walls lined by black wrought iron and steel vertical railing throughout make for a really modern feel. The flooring is made up of gray stone tiles cut into large squares, which makes the space feel relatively spacious, and it gives a texture to the overall space. The straight edge and geometric architecture of the rooftop is softened by the curves of the buildings across the street. It's nice to know we have a street view, but we also have a city skyline view to enjoy. So with this blank canvas of an outdoor space, let's get into designing. All right, guys, so we're inside because there's a heat wave and we're trying to stay cool. So cheers to that. Okay, so to start off with the design, as you see here, I have the empty picture of the rooftop. As you see, we have the railing facing the front, which is also the street side. And then we have the side walls, which is the white stucco. With the monochrome black and white look, thankfully, we still had furniture from our old apartment that really fit the style really well. Most of the furniture is from Target. Gotta love Project 62. And, funnily, this furniture can't be found anywhere at all. So when I share this mood board that you guys can see in the link in the description, you're going to see some alternative styles to this furniture. But the first thing I was thinking about was layout. Thinking about what did we really want to do in terms of feel in the rooftop. And the first thing that came to my mind was conversational. This rooftop is, it's a decent size, but it was important that we created a style that kind of hugged, like I say in the condo itself too as well. So similar to our living room, we wanted a style that felt like a big hug. So when we were sitting with friends and family, we could feel like we could converse and not yelling over, the block parties or the music or anything like that around the neighborhood. And so with this wall here being the longest wall, it only made sense to kind of place the bench around there so it wasn't blocking the view of the street itself. And with the side chairs, I thought about maybe putting both of them on this side, thought about putting them here, and then, overall decided that that kind of U/C shape was the best one that felt more like a hug, and then having the table in the middle. Another thing that we had in storage was a bar cart. In the condo itself, if you guys remember from the living room and the kitchen episodes, we didn't want a bar cart in the condo itself because we had an open shelving in the kitchen that we were using to store drinks and cups and just like bar items. And so we had this black iron bar cart that just really fit well with this outdoor area. So thankfully, we didn't throw it away from before, and we kept it to use on the rooftop itself. Now, again, in terms of conversation layout, putting the bar cart in this corner made sense because number one, it can cover some of the imperfections in the iron, as you guys see here on the floorboard. But then also it would be easy reach for someone sitting on the bench, and it would be easy reach for anyone sitting on the chair itself in terms of grabbing drinks, snacks or things like that, and also to place some greenery. Because as you see here, thankfully, we have a lot of green here in Brooklyn. I feel like I live in the suburbs. But we're also not great with keeping outdoor plants. So we weren't really big on this is learning from our last like terrace area. We decided it'd be easier to have kind of like smaller plants, succulents and things like that we could manage. And so the bar cart made sense to put in the corner and have those plants sitting on there. So layout wise, again, C-shaped kind of conversational style with the table in the middle, putting the longest bench on the longest wall. And then next up was just like tables. So we have this big table in the middle, and then I found this really cool drum style table on Amazon, which again kind of ties in with that African vibe that we were going with in the condo itself. So it all feels kind of cohesive. If I enlarge it a little bit, you see that it's actually textured. It has a little bit of black speckles and orange speckles and green speckles. So it's really nice to have that texture in the space itself. Ties in with the tiling that's there. It gives that earthy feel to it. All right, so that was layout. Next up was lighting. Because of this pole, this kind of awkward pole that's here and it's wrapped around in rope, I kind of like the rope texture. Actually, it fit the whole, earthy tones that we were going for. But the problem was it kind of made lighting a little awkward. We thought about maybe putting string lights, but because the railings are low, and we do have a plug point and a hose on the right side, so we do have somewhere where we could plug the string lights. We just felt like it didn't really go with this vibe as well because the walls are so low. And so lighting in terms of lanterns just made the most sense. These arch lanterns were ones that I found at Target as well. They were on sale. Perfect timing because, again, one thing I love about Target is once you kind of buy it and they go on sale, you can never find it again. So you guys are going to see in the link in my description the mood board, the design board for our rooftop. A lot of these items, I had to find alternatives for you guys because Target no longer has them. But one thing I do like about that is it makes things feel really unique when you do buy things. So with these arch lanterns, what I loved about them is that they also match the arch windows across the rooftop to the buildings on the street. So again, thinking about the condo design, you guys have heard me talk about curves and really capturing that outside style inside. And so these arch lanterns, having them there, we thought was a really nice way to bring the curves in the buildings on the street and bring them onto our rooftop itself and kind of balance out all the very geometric shapes that's on the rooftop. So in addition to these arch lanterns, these metal lanterns, I also wanted to start to bring in a little bit more texture with these alternative lanterns, which are more like Japanese style. I love that they had this textured like rope style to it too as well, which goes with the lines in the railing as well as the lines in the chair design as well. And speaking of texture, we have these two round floor pillows again from Target. And no one ever believes me when I say that because they have this really dope African style to it. And when I saw them at Target, I was kind of like, this doesn't make any sense. It seems like a return because it had like a red tag on it. Both of them were kind of tied together with a red tag. So I think these were returns. This must have been like 2019, 2020. So it's been a few years. So again, couldn't find the exact pillows, but I did give you guys alternatives in the design board that you can see in the link. We thought it'd be nice to put these floor pillows more on the outside so that there was more floor space for like playing games and things like that with, whenever we have guests around. So as you see, these floor pillows tied in the textures in these Japanese style lanterns. And then to go with those floor pillows, this round rug, they have different styles. I saw some at H&M, some on Amazon. I've also seen some in like local markets. And so this is actually from one of the local markets that we have here in Brooklyn, but you can find similar styles, which I put in the mood board in all different spaces. But as you see here, pulling in this round style rug, these Japanese lanterns, the floor pillows, the African-esque drum side table, the arch in the lanterns will start to bring texture and something more interesting into this otherwise really linear space. So now it's time for styling the space. With these textures in place and having this kind of monochrome black and white, but also these like earthy browns in there. I wanted to just tie in more of those earthy browns in the accent pillows. And so I love this one from West Elm. Again, it's like a woven style, has the curves and the arches in it as well. I also found these really dope pillows from Amazon. So it's outdoor pillows with this black velvety texture, but still has a coating. So if it rains and things like that, or even with the harsh sun, it has not faded, which I love. But if I enlarge this, you can see that it has these kind of like wovens on the sides and on the trims. So again, it ties in that earthy style of the style that's going on in the rooftop. To bring a little bit more character, I also added these striped pillows in black and white. And I especially love this one just because it has that drum style similar to the drum side table. So very intentional in terms of like the pillows that I chose here, just to bring it all together and give it that earthy texture. And again, feel like a hug and feel cohesive for the monochrome style of the rooftop itself, but also to complement the earth tones that's on our neighborhood block. So now the greenery, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, we have a lot of greenery on our street, thankfully, one of my favorite things about Brooklyn. And we're not great with outdoor plants. So we learned from our old terrace and our old apartment. Every time we had like large outdoor plants, they just didn't last. But we did want some greenery to just refresh the space and complement the trees that's on the block. And so we stuck with like succulents and just easy outdoor plants that were good with full sun throughout the day. So styling the center table with succulents, got some from Home Depot. We thought that these, adding these extra greenery plants just made the space feel a little bit more cohesive with the greenery on the block, and added that extra, character and touch and warmth to the space. Really made it feel like an oasis. And then lastly, again, because of these floor pillows here, we want to just add some, playful fun to the space. So like, as I mentioned, sitting down, lower on the ground, having some drinks, playing this large like Connect Four game, large Jenga, things like that. We really wanted the space to feel fun, conversational, interesting, and a space that we could spend together, Jeff and I ourselves, or just to invite family and friends through the summer. And honestly, it's been a really harsh summer, so we're still playing around with maybe we add a large umbrella or some type of covering here. But for now, we really enjoyed like sitting there in the evenings and things like that. So here's the final look of the mood board. All right, guys, so let's get into the after videos of the rooftop. We have been loving it so far, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you a rooftop person, a backyard person? What's the vibe for the summer? Let me know. And looking forward to see you on episode 9. And just in general, the next few episodes will be more lifestyle content. Taking you guys shopping with me as I look to, do a little bit more storage solutions for our kitchen cabinets, coat closet, laundry closet. And then I want to do like a long form video where it's the entire condo where I go into every single detail. So there'll be one episode where you just get to see everything. I think that'll be really exciting. And then just like more of my day to day, right? Launching apps, in particular, our Drift Wellness app. I'm looking to launch a new version for iOS and Android coming this fall. So taking you guys on, what does that look like to have a tech and a design company with Jeff, and some of the things we do in the background to launch apps and just show you that side of my life. So really excited to get to know each other a little bit more intimately. But for now, enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye.